Elon Musk makes an outrageous offer to buy OpenAI for $97.4 billion. Sam Altman refuses and then gets nasty. What is this beef really all about? And why did it get so personal? So it was a big surprise when the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg were reporting that Elon Musk had made this big offer along with a consortium of investors to buy OpenAI. Wall Street Journal says a consortium of investors led by Elon Musk is offering $97.4 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls OpenAI, raising the stakes in his battle with Sam Altman over the company behind ChatGPT. And then Sam Altman, he responds with a post on X, and he says, "No, thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Now, this was quite a sharp answer because, first of all, he is dead naming X. He is using X's old name, and this might be something that Elon Musk doesn't like because it's not referring to it by the name that he would like everyone to call it. Everybody still calls it Twitter, mostly. On top of that, the offer he makes, which is not a serious offer, of course, it is an insult because he's offering $9.74 billion and Musk paid around $40 billion along with a consortium of investors. And so what he's effectively saying is X, Twitter, is now a quarter of its original value. So it's a sharp rebuke and a little bit of an insult as well, both at the same time. So Elon Musk, he fires back, swindler. And then, separate post calling him Scam Altman, and he plays a clip. And the clip is from a Senate hearing from May 2023. And Sam Altman, he's been asked about his profits or what he's got in OpenAI. How is he invested? How is he profiting from it? And this little clip says a bit about that.
You make a lot of money, do you?
No. I paid enough for health insurance. I have no equity in OpenAI.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You need a lawyer.
I need a what?
You need a lawyer or an agent.
I'm doing this because I love it.
Okay. So this is something to take note of. He's been asked about what's his investment in OpenAI, and he's saying it's not about the money. It is about him loving this mission. And so this issue of what Sam Altman is getting out of OpenAI in terms of financial rewards, this comes to the heart of the main issue between these two men because they have different ideas of what OpenAI should be and they have a shared history. So, to know what that is, let's look back. OpenAI was founded in 2015. Elon put in $100 million. Basically, OpenAI exists because of him. He named the company, and the two men together, they were the co-chairs to begin with. And their mission was to create an AI product platform that would be open so that it could protect the world from improper use, improper influence. Let's have a look at this clip from a long time ago of the two men sitting together talking about that.
We achieve democratization of AI technology, meaning that no one company or small set of individuals has control over advanced AI technology. I think that's very dangerous. It could also get stolen by somebody bad, like some evil dictator of a country could send their intelligence agency to go steal it and gain control. It just becomes a very unstable situation, I think, if you've got any incredibly powerful AI. You just don't know who's going to control that. So it's not as though I think that the risk is that the AI would develop a will of its own right off the bat. I think it's more that's the concern is that someone may use it in a way that is bad, and even if they weren't going to use it in a way that's bad, that somebody could take it from them and use it in a way that's bad. That I think is quite a big danger. So I think we must have democratization of AI technology and make it widely available. And that's the reason that obviously Yumi and the rest of the team created OpenAI was to help with the help spread out AI technology so it doesn't get concentrated in the hands of a few.
I think most common questions I hear young people, ambitious young people ask is, I want to be the next Elon Musk. How do I do that? Obviously, the next Elon Musk will work on very different things than you did. But what have you done, or what did you do when you were younger that you think sort of set you up to have a big impact?
Quite interesting, eh? So from that, what we gather is that Sam Altman had some aspirations to be very successful, and there's nothing wrong with that. He seemed to model himself on Musk, and he was working together with him on this big project. But here we also hear Elon Musk stating clearly the aim of OpenAI is that to protect it, to protect the world effectively, that this AI technology should not be in the hands of one company or one group, because that could potentially be hijacked either by within the company, I guess, or by an outside force. And so we see there very clearly Elon Musk's intentions for this non-profit, which is what OpenAI was and is still at the moment. So Musk and Altman, they launched OpenAI as a non-profit, and it seemed to be progressing well. And by the time of 2018, there seemed to be actual tensions between the two men. And whilst nothing has been proven explicitly, there's been a lot of commentary from insiders, a lot of leaks of what did go on. And one of the main issues seems to be that Musk was very concerned that Google, who was running its own AI products, its own AI development, he felt that OpenAI was not moving fast enough to combat the challenge of this major competitor. So he felt that OpenAI should have been moving in a faster direction, in a better direction. More than that, he felt that he had invested so much, and so he felt he should have overall control of OpenAI. And there is also reports that perhaps he had concerns that because he was running SpaceX and also Tesla, that each uses their own AI technology, that there might have been an overlap. His companies might have faced examination for having too much dominance in this industry. So whatever the truth of it, we don't actually know at this point in time. But we do know that Elon Musk decided to walk away from OpenAI in 2018. He just decided to just give up, move away, and just separated from the organization, from the non-profit completely. Now, this was major because OpenAI, as it developed, it needed greater cloud computing support. It needed a lot of that. So it needed to get investment. It needed money. It needed backers. So the way it decided to approach the problem of how it could continue, how it would not shut up shop, was by creating, or was by turning OpenAI into a hybrid model business. And what this essentially means is that OpenAI would continue as a non-profit, and then it would create this subsidiary, OpenAI LP, that would be for profit. It would allow it to receive investment from big companies, such as Microsoft, as it turned out, who invested a massive amount. But in return, it would then get all this computing resources so that it could continue to grow and that it could then eventually launch and provide services for the public. Now, in light of its original goals of remaining a non-profit company and having these idealistic goals, it did set in place certain rules on the hybrid, on the subsidiary company. And that was no investor could take more than 100 times whatever it invested. And so whilst that might sound a lot, it was to limit the possible profits that a company that invests could make. So Microsoft, whatever it invested, the maximum it could take out is 100 times its amount. Microsoft would then have access to OpenAI's AI technology. It would be able to use it and probably to be able to keep it. There would be a limitation, and that is that when the time comes, OpenAI eventually develops AGI, the advanced AI of an advanced level, it would not give this technology to Microsoft. So that's the background of its relationship with Microsoft there. So OpenAI secured all this massive investment from Microsoft, And there was also going to be a limitation on what it would be giving Microsoft in return. It would be giving Microsoft access to its AI technology as it stands and all future developments up to a point. And that point would be when the time comes that OpenAI would develop AGI, the advanced level of AI, it would not give that to Microsoft. So that wouldn't be included. Regardless, it now meant Microsoft was now able to include OpenAI's technology in its products, integrate it into Office, into Windows. It would be able to do all of that, and it would benefit this huge multinational company. And what would the board directors of OpenAI be getting? Now, from the subsidiary, we don't know the exact details, but they would be profiting. They would have a share in that subsidiary, and that would be bringing them profits as well. Now, Elon Musk, having seen this seeing that he created this company, he put in all this money, he walked away from it, and now all of a sudden, this money is coming into this subsidiary, and it's making Sam Altman and the other board members millionaires and perhaps billionaires, and he is getting nothing. That's got to hurt. It's got to sting. And so, on a personal basis of feeling that he might have felt that he had been defrauded, not defrauded, but he might have felt cheated, in fact, and cheated because he put all that money in to create this OpenAI product, and it's now being turned into a for-profit company. And that is the crux of why there is tension between these two men. Musk feels that OpenAI has been taken away from its ideological goals, and it's now been making a huge amount of money, which he's not going to be profiting from. On top of all of that, just this year, at the beginning of the year, we saw the announcement of the Stargate project. This is OpenAI and Oracle and some other investors all working together with the US government to create an AI infrastructure project across the US. Significant funding, significant goals. And Musk tweeted to criticize it for different reasons. So it shows that maybe he has legitimate concerns, but also he feels left out of something that he was originally a part of, that he made happen. Musk, he's gone on to sue OpenAI. It's for a variety of different reasons, saying there has been a breach of contract. He feels, or he fears, the influence of Microsoft on the AI industry now that Microsoft, this big tech company, is in there. And he feels that OpenAI has strayed from its original charter. After all this, Sam Altman and the other board directors, they must be thinking, we've created this incredible product. We need to make some money from it. Why should everybody else profit? Why shouldn't we? And there is a limitation with that subsidiary company. So the goal now is from OpenAI, they would like to spin off that subsidiary and make it a full company where there is not a limit on profits, into a PBC, which is a public benefit company. And it is a company that can make profit, but it's a special category of company that they have only in the US. And whilst it can make unlimited profit, it is a company that has idealistic goals. So with OpenAI, of course, it can pursue profits, but it must also have a specific public benefit goal. And it will consider the social and environmental impact of what it is and how it operates. And I guess that case can be clearly argued if OpenAI technology is then being used for, if it's being used for medical research to improve the lives of people, if it's being used for space research, all these different fields, so there will be public benefit with that. And so it's a very clever way for OpenAI to transition this subsidiary into a for-profit company and still at least externally maintain the idea that it does have idealistic goals. And if this happens, this means Sam Altman and anybody else, perhaps the other current board directors, will then get shares in the new company. And these shares, they will lead to potentially billions and billions in profit for each of them. Before this division is created, OpenAI, the main OpenAI, it has to be valued. There has to be a determination of what it's worth. And so back in October, last year, 2024, it was valued at 157 billion. That's quite a lot. The information was reporting that it's worth 40 billion, which is significantly less. And apparently this is what OpenAI are trying to pursue. They're trying to market OpenAI as worth just 40 billion. So what's going on? And here we've got the Vox referencing the information article. The current rumor is that the new for-profit entity would compensate the non-profit with about 40 billion for its assets. So a 40 billion cost is significantly less than the 157 billion evaluation of OpenAI made last year. Why is this relevant? It means that Sam Altman and the rest of the board, if they are able to get the value of OpenAI for much cheaper than the market value, if they're able to buy those assets for 40 billion instead of 157 billion or even more, it means they have got a very good price, and then they can go on to sell it at a significantly higher price at its true market value. So it would benefit Sam and Co. to get OpenAI for much cheaper, because it's going to be reflected with a significantly more profits once he and the rest resell their shares. And this is where Elon Musk comes in. Is he sincere with his offer? Does he really want it? Well, it seems that what he is doing, he is trying to ensure that the value of OpenAI is not undervalued. So he's coming in and offering this significantly higher offer of $97.4 billion. And this then means that OpenAI, it has a duty, I believe, it's got a duty to ensure that it brings in the most value, the most money in for whatever its assets are worth. So if there is one company or consortium offering 40 billion and there's another offering 100 billion, it really should be considering that $100 billion offer rather than the lesser one. So by Elon Musk coming in and making this $97.4 billion offer, he's going to make sure that any other company that comes in, they have to pay that much at least. So Elon and the consortium make this offer, and immediately Sam Altman makes his tweet refusing it. And he's actually, there's a couple of interviews with him, and his reaction is actually surprising to see. It's very strong, and he actually seems very angry about it. And you can see how acrimonious the relationship is between the two of them, with the way he criticizes Elon, both for his professional tactics, but also on a personal level. So let's take a look.
Elon tries all sorts of things for a long time. This is this week's episode.
You take it seriously at all? What do you think he's trying to drive at with this?
I think he's probably just trying to slow us down. He obviously is a competitor. He's working hard and he's raised a lot of money for XAI, and they're trying to compete with us from a
bid
technological
alone is not going to slow things down.
Getting the product into the market.
So he must have a different objective.
I wish he would just compete by building a better product, but I think there's been a lot of tactics, many lawsuits, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now this. And we'll try to just put our head down and keep working.
Does it make it more difficult to move from that non-profit model to that for-profit?
This is the important question.
AI?
We're not moving to a for-profit model. We're not sure we're going to do it all, but no matter what, the nonprofit will continue to be extremely important. It will drive the mission. It will continue to exist. The board is looking at lots of options about how to best structure for this next phase, but the nonprofit is not changing into anything or going anywhere.
Do you think Musk's approach then is from a position of insecurity about XAI?
Probably his whole life is from a position of insecurity.
See, that's the personal part.
You feel for him?
I do, actually. I don't think he's like a happy person. I do feel for
I don't feel he's been genuine
Do you worry
there.
that he has this proximity to the president and he can influence the decision-making of the US presidency?
Right. Do you worry that he has this proximity to the US president and has this ability to influence the president? So this is a Bloomberg reporter, and let's look at him. And from watching the whole thing, he definitely, there's some good reporters, and they go and they push to get questions on both sides. He's there, and he's not just there to do it to get Sam Altman to open up. He's there with the preconceived notion that Elon Musk is the bad guy and Sam Altman is the good guy. And so, as reporters go, he's not really doing his job the way a trained journalist should be doing it.
Probably his whole life is. Maybe I should, but
Of the US presidency and policies around this agenda on AI?
not particularly. Maybe I should, but not particularly. I mean, I try to just wake up and think about like how we're going to make our technology better.
Can you afford your own company now, though? It does raise that question. Can you afford to buy OpenAI off the non-profit now?
The board will decide what to do there.
Good avoidance.
Nonprofit will continue as a very, very strong thing. The mission is really important, and we're just, we're totally focused on making sure we preserve that. How much is OpenAI? What?
Yeah. If it's not $100 billion, how much is it?
It's not for sale.
What do you think about the critics of Mr. Musk? He said that OpenAI is not open.
I mean, I think OpenAI has done the most to push the benefits of AI into the world of anyone. We have open source.
So you're getting a question from a reporter there, and they're specifically saying, is it worth 100 billion? And he's saying it's not for sale. Okay. So I think it's very interesting. He's quite defensive there. Obviously, he can't get into the minutiae of whatever the deal is going to be worth if it goes into a subsidiary. But the value of OpenAI, for him, it's becoming clear that he wants the value to be less. And there's more evidence to suggest that. So let's take a look. First, Elon submitted the bid, and OpenAI, or Sam Altman, they denied receiving it. And then later they confirmed that they had received an official bid. Andy Nussbaum, outside counsel representing OpenAI's board, made a statement on Elon's bid. And he said, this bid doesn't set a value for the non-profit. The non-profit is not for sale. The independent board's sole fiduciary duty is to the mission of ensuring AGI benefits all of humanity. Respectfully, it is not up to a competitor to decide what is in the best interests of OpenAI's mission. So there you have a direct comment, and a direct comment on saying that it's not down to Elon Musk to determine the value. It's down to us. So very clever there. And it goes to show that perhaps that really is part of the intention of Musk's decision to make a bid. Could there be any other reasons that Elon has decided to make this bid? Well, it could be that he's seen the success of OpenAI and he feels it's his baby because he founded the company with his investment. So maybe he wants to take control of what he started. And maybe he really does have ideological goals. Also, he's spoken about fears of AI getting into the wrong hands. And recently there was the story of DeepSeek, the new Chinese AI platform that has, apparently used technology from OpenAI. So this could be evidence of that. And maybe also, yes, he started his own AI company with XAI, and it's progressed very far, very quickly, but it's not universal yet. Even though Grok 3, the new version, has been released, it's definitely not widely regarded from the initial assessments, the initial reviews, as being on a comparable level to OpenAI. So maybe he wants to get hold of this technology, which he could then use, and then he could dominate for his own product. These are all possible reasons. We can't know exactly. Definitely, I think there is that feeling of feeling spurned and feeling cheated. And that's why he made such a big point about calling him Scam Altman. And Scam Altman maybe misrepresented himself to Musk when they started the company. Maybe Sam said he had all these idealistic goals and now he's turning into it all for the profit. OpenAI then made a very public rejection of Musk and the consortium's offer. And this is what it said. OpenAI is not for sale, and the board has unanimously rejected Mr. Musk's latest attempt to disrupt his competition. Any potential reorganization of OpenAI will strengthen our non-profit and its mission to ensure AGI benefits for all of humanity. So that was Brett Taylor, the chairman, on behalf of all the OpenAI board of directors. So in that rejection, we see two things. The first is that they are criticizing Musk for taking this action simply for selfish reasons to disrupt a competitor. But also what's made clear is that OpenAI really does want a reorganization, and it says any potential reorganization is going to benefit the non-profit. So it's quite clear that they want this separate entity because they're going to make a killing from it. Of course they are. But what happens now? Well, since then, we've had OpenAI announce and Sam Altman announce the roadmap for this year of what's going to be happening with OpenAI. With version 4.5 and with version 5 coming all this year. And that's hopefully going to see some significant development. But what I suspect will happen is that this deal will likely go ahead, that this separate entity will happen, and it's going to make Sam Altman and his colleagues very rich people. Will Musk's legal action be able to stop this? I suspect not. I don't know if he can make a claim for being included in the original shares, in being able to receive some shares from OpenAI. That's what I would try and pursue with no business knowledge of this matter at all. But this acrimony between the two men is going to continue. I genuinely don't know if Musk attempts to stop this from happening is from his own idealistic goals, or if it really is that clash of personalities, that feeling of being cheated by Sam Altman. And I'm not entirely sure of Sam Altman's objectives. Yes, he does want to develop AI and improve it for the world, and develop an AI that can benefit the world. But there is some questions about how he's behaved from Elon Musk. But also, do not forget that at the end of about a year ago, but also do not forget that he was initially kicked out of OpenAI for apparently being dishonest to the board. In what way? We don't know exactly. What happened? We don't know. But the year ahead is going to be a very interesting and exciting chapter for OpenAI, and we will see what happens with this. The question is, will OpenAI then be able to completely dominate this industry? We just have to find out. Cheers.